Will the real JetBlue please stand up? I can't speak. Will the real JetBlue please stand up? Hello and welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. Good morning, happy Monday. Hopefully it's going to be a great week for you. I'm hoping it's going to be a great week for me. And we are here. We are here for a live stream. I know I said I was going to stream on Thursday or Friday last week, but things got in the way. Ended up working on some other content, and here we are back in the sim. I don't know who may have flown over the weekend, but I feel like the servers were a little bit overwhelmed. I don't know if it was everyone's servers in terms of like Navigraph and Beyondatc and Flight Sim, you know, Microsoft and Asobo, or what, but like my performance wasn't as good as it typically is, and that might have been because of the A350. And if that's the case, that's pretty impressive because, you know, the 350 is a pretty expensive plane, and it'd be interesting to see how many sales actually happened with that plane. We are not flying the A350 today. I flew it a whole lot already, and I think it's a really cool plane, but we are here in JetBlue, and we are using a good old-fashioned program here called A Pilot's Life Chapter 2. This is the program I used not a long time ago, but about a year ago, and I used it all the time. I used it non-stop. In fact, if we go to my dashboard here, it takes a little time to load sometimes. You can see I'm a senior captor level 2, and I have 7,000 in the account. I've completed 700 flights with A Pilot's Life Chapter 2. So this is what we're going to go back into. We're flying for JetBlue right now. I did apply for Delta because I do have the 350, but Delta said no, you're a chump. We don't want you on board our airline. So that's how it's going to be. P2, welcome in. It's been a long time since I've seen you on a live stream. Welcome in. Actually, no, you were in not too long ago. You were on the Wednesday stream, right? I think you were on the Wednesday stream. Sorry. The big update. So Beyondatc for the experimental branch last night pushed out a pretty big update, and that is fixing. Well, they said from the ground up, reworking the entire vector's logic. And that is a big deal. One of the other issues they fixed, which I've experienced a couple different times, I actually experienced it Saturday, I think it was where you depart, and sometimes if it doesn't have an arrival, it will just automatically start having you descend. So, like, you know, it'd be like climb to, you know, flight level 300, and then like a minute later, descend and maintain 3,000 expected vectors for the approach. And you're like, I got 150 miles to go yet. What's going on? So they say they fixed that, and they fixed a couple things. Welcome in, Jim. Welcome in. And so this is a pretty big update. We'll go over the notes here once we get into the air. But today's flight is, again, it's going to be a Pilot's Life Chapter 2. This is Boston to Philadelphia. Boston to Philadelphia. And Philly is a strong FPS airport, so we're gonna see how this all works out. Philly's, it's pretty strong. What is it? It's an MK. Is it MK Studios who makes that one? It's pretty heavy on the FPS, and then you throw in Beyondatc on top of that with traffic, and you're asking for trouble. Yeah, it's a pretty big update, so I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how this all plays out. Welcome in, Arnold. I'm butchering your name so badly. I'm sorry. So this could be a fun flight. I'm really excited for this one. We're going to see what Beyondatc does today. And let's get going, shall we? Let me increase the volume for Beyondatc. I might run out of credits mid-flight with the premium voices, so I do apologize if that does happen. Alright, so we're going to go to import here. We're going to go to mass. We're going to load the aircraft up. We're going to go up here, and we're going to go sync these guys, calculate, and then we're going to go up top. External power, battery 1 and 2, fuel pumps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on. Navs are all on. Crew supply is on. I use my physical switches for some of the lights. Wing lights on. Master switch for the APU, compass, Emergency, no smoking, and seatbelt sign are on, and start the APU. My 2020 stutters always ruin my... Yeah, that's the thing with 2020, is it's the final stutters. It's when you're on approach and you're trying to land and you get those major stutters. That almost never, ever happens in 2024 for me. It's a very rare sight. Now that I said that, of course, on this flight, it's going to happen. But it's normally pretty rare. I'll get, like, the FPS drop. And recently, I don't know if... It's not the VRAM issue, because I checked the VRAM, but every so often I'll get this random, for, like, 5 to 10 seconds, major FPS drop, down to, like, 5 FPS. And then it just goes away. And it started ever since I got this new monitor, so I've been thinking it's the monitor. But in that same time, I think is when the last Sim beta update came out. And so now I'm thinking it was that, so I don't know. And it only happens, it seems to be in-flight Sim. Of course, that's the only thing I put, like, the most amount of hours into. And, like, it happened yesterday, but it didn't happen until the tail end of the night, so... I don't know, I'm so confused with that. Okay, flight level 360, we can get rid of this guy. And let's go back over to the EFB. We're going to send this over. We're going to send this over. We're going to go to ground services. And then we're going to check this up. And then we're going to go to performance here. Alright, so now we're going to go to flight plan. And we're expecting runway 27. I flew a couple flights on the East Coast with the pilot's life yesterday. Obviously, it's JetBlue. And the weather in the east, on the east side of the U.S., was pretty crappy yesterday. Flew into Buffalo, and it was pretty stormy. Boston wasn't so great. New York wasn't great. I did Philly, and I think Philly was okay. It wasn't as bad. 27 right. It's all windy, though. Hey, gyms. We got the gyms one here. We got Jim in here. We got gyms for the arrival via Briggs. But that 350, I have a lot of fun with the 350. I did have a video up on the channel comparing this plane, the Phoenix, and that plane. And the FPS is about the same, in all honesty. Now, that's with frame generation and DLSS. Okay, let's get our clearance. We're going to let the co-pilot do all of it.
Ready for airways to Philadelphia Airport.
JetBlue, 11:59, Boston clearance, cleared to Philadelphia Airport. SOX 7 departure, SOX transition, then is filed. Climb via side. Departure frequency, 133.0. Squawk 5455.
5455.
Cleared to Philadelphia Airport.
Morning, Irishman.
SOX 7 departure, SOX transition, then is filed. Climb via
Yeah, it's a
SID.
major update for sure. Welcome in, Willem.
Squawk
Welcome in. You have AMD?
JetBlue 1159.
I thought about switching over.
JetBlue 11:59.
I thought really hard about switching over to AMD. But I had just bought the 14700K not too long ago.
121.75 when ready for pushback or engine start. JetBlue 1159. Thanks.
Thank you. Come again.
My pleasure. Enjoy your flight.
Aw, they're so nice. They're being friendly today. Remember when I was trying to be all nice to them the other day and they were saying thank you and all that, and they're just being like, what? Stop talking to me. Alright. Yeah, Beyond ATC said minor. Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. Alright, I think we're ready for pushback and engine start.
JetBlue 1159, gate Charlie 30.
It's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. The vectors, they obviously, in my opinion, they've been one of the best in the game. But
Pushback approved, face southwest. JetBlue 1159.
trying to get the volume the way I like it. It's a little low, then it's a little too much. So we're gonna try 70 now. All right, we're cleared for southwest, not flying southwest. Okay, so we're going to use this guy up here. Pushback tool bar, I think is what it's called. Pre-plan pushback. Do we have anything in Boston? Nope. Okay, we got to make up our own pushback a little bit. southwest. So we're gonna push back. There's not a whole lot of room here, so I'm gonna go here. I always like to see how close I am. Alright. Request and hold. Pushback is in progress. We're gonna go auto there, we're gonna bring that up, we're gonna go to start, we're gonna go to auto, and then I know we're not supposed to do Terry yet, but I like to do it. And engine number 1 coming up. Start the clocks. And we'll get the engine 1 spinning. We're cleared to climb via the SID, so I'm gonna put in 10,000 for the initial departure. Flight plan. Sorry, I don't have anything set up. I'm a cheap, low-end streamer. I should probably get those going though. I'll get that going at some point here. Let me put the flight plan in. There's a flight plan. Alright, I'll try with the frame generator mod I have purchased from... Yeah, I tried that, P2. I tried it with my system. Whoa, what the hell? This pushback's kind of weird. I tried it with my system, and so you have to disable some things to make it work for system, like for the 4080 I have. And so I didn't really see any improvement. It's a weird pushback. That's not how I did it, right? Pretty sure I had a... Where were we? Here? Yeah, because here's our line. Yeah, that, I don't think that quite worked the way I wanted it to.
Request pushback and engine start.
Alright, engine's coming up for number 2. Let's see what we have for flaps. Flaps are going to be a 3. Max for the brakes.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast. Spirit 1157.
If you're in, let me know if Beyondatc sounds good. If it's too low, too high, just let me know. Alright, let's go ahead and get our taxi to runway. Now, if you're new to Beyondatc, you can use your voice to talk to it. I just don't want to talk to it today. Oh, they changed our runway.
Runway 9 taxi via Alpha Kilo Mike, JetBlue 1159.
Alright, well, we got a runway change. So, we're going to go Boston, departure, runway 9. Via the SOC 7.
Request pushback and engine
insert. Check our takeoff data. Oops, wrong button.
4629 Boston ground pushback and engine start
Okay,
approved.
that's all good. I heard the click, so engine number 2 is on board. Taxi lights are on. APU off. All calls. And we're taxiing via Alpha Kilo. Alpha Kilo Bravo. I feel like that's mixed up. This is Alpha. Sounds great. Awesome. Thank you. So if you haven't seen, yesterday I did a interesting video. It was kind of a spur of the moment because of how the traffic was working out. But I did a little video of the departure out of Boston here with traffic, and it was really cool. Like, there were points where they should have squeezed me in for the departure. It would have been a great opportunity to use that no delay. But, with that said, it was really cool to see all the planes and how the system handled the logistics behind it. It's very amazing.
Spirit 1157. Request taxi to the active.
Alright, here is Kilo Alpha.
Runway 4 left taxi by Alpha Echo. Spirit 1157.
I like that they have the flag moving, but it's not moving in the right direction. It's like just animation.
Request pushback and engine start.
Alright, we don't have to hold here, we were just told to go.
5834 Boston ground pushback approved, face west.
And Kilo, we're just going all the way straight. And I think we're holding up right up there.
JetBlue 1159, contact Boston Tower 132.225. Have a good one.
Oh, that's incorrect, actually. We're on a mic.
Contact Tower 132.225, JetBlue 1159.
Alright, here we are. Holding short on our runway 19. Let's get our taxi takeoff. Let's go down here.
Ready to go.
Takeoff
Runway
configs. Systems all set there. Landing lights are on and enabled.
JetBlue 1159, Boston Tower.
I did see
Wind 355
that
at
stream
11,
had
gust
to
16, fly
say it
heading
was a great technology to
090,
beyond.
runway 9er,
Okay,
cleared
I'll
for
read that again.
takeoff.
Hold on. Heading
Fly heading
090.
runway 9er, cleared for takeoff, JetBlue 1159.
Gusting up to 11, up to 16. Jesus. Guess it's still gusty and windy here in the East Coast. All right, here we are. Let's bring up the throttles. Wind's coming from the left and flexing. All right, let's bring our flight controls a little bit to the left so we can capture that wind. 090, so we're gonna just maintain our vectors right now, or our flight plan, sorry.
Spirit 1157, Boston Tower, wind 355
And here comes V1 rotating.
Fly runway heading, runway 4 left, cleared for takeoff.
It's a bigger, little bit bigger plane than the 19. Not that low, big though, jeez.
Fly runway heading, runway 4 left.
All right, gear coming up, positive rate, 090. I'm thinking it's like a 350 there.
1159, contact Boston departure.
All right, flaps can go up one notch.
Contact Boston departure, JetBlue 1159. Have a good morning.
Good morning. Over to 133.
Boston departure, JetBlue 1159. Good morning, 800 feet.
Climb lever.
JetBlue 1159, Boston departure, radar contact, clear direct claw, resume the SOX 7, climb maintain flight level 180.
180.
Cleared direct crawl, resume the SOX 7. Climb maintain flight level 180, JetBlue 1159.
All right, flaps coming up. And full flaps coming up in just a second. Full flaps up. Spoilers armed, or sorry, disarmed. And pretty good departure. I did see that stream. Have to say it was a great technology achievement for Beyondatc. Oh, the video? Yeah, that was really cool. That was really, really cool. I'm telling you, it's gonna be hard to beat what Beyondatc has done with traffic, because and so we'll go over the notes here in a little bit once you get closer up to cruise. But it's impressive. It is quite impressive. All right, 4,000. I'm still hand flying this plane.
Good day, 800 feet.
Oh yeah, it was really cool.
Boston departure.
All right, swinging over to the right.
Climb maintain 1717,000, altimeter 3025.
Turn to clicking. Is that
Climb maintain
issue back again?
17,000, altimeter 3025, Spirit 1157.
I had an issue with, I'm pretty sure it's FSUIPC, where it's switching my 100 to 1000.
При подчеркивании режима обеспечения отщепил.
7,000. Or maybe not. Okay. Irishman, hey, thanks again for another month. Sean, welcome in.
Brickyard 4629, Boston departure, radar contact.
All right, coming up to
climb maintain
8,000.
15,000,
So this week my
altimeter
plan is
3025.
probably,
Climb maintain
I don't know when. I need to.
15,000,
This week I have a lot of things going on.
Brickyard 4629.
So maybe Thursday or Friday I can work on it, but I'm gonna work on a video that was requested
Brickyard 4629,
by a couple
turn
different
left,
people.
heading 230. Expect further clearance
how to
about
get
30
smooth
miles.
landings in airliners.
Turn left.
I know not all my landings are smooth because, you know, just like in real life, things come up, weather, and, you know, whatever. Every other issue known to mankind. But I feel like I'm pretty consistent for the most part. And I think I figured out most of these planes. Alright, we're bringing down the landing lights and taxi. 10,000. And we're going to go ahead and do AP on in just a second. AP is on. Irishman, hey, thanks for the 5 months, or 5 months. Thanks for the 5 gifted subscriptions there. Or memberships, thank you. Much appreciated. Irishman, you do so much for the stream. I do appreciate it.
Boston departure.
I really do.
JetBlue 1245. Good day. 500.
Let's bring out the map a little bit here. Alright, yeah, so we have a disco between Socks and Buzzard.
JetBlue 1245, Boston departure. Good day.
So,
Radar
let's go and get that
contact.
cleared up so I don't forget. So in this one we hit clear. Go here. Cool.
Climb and maintain
Okay.
16,000.
I will have a thunderstorm on Wednesday, really. Sean, where are you at?
1245.
Thunderstorm on Wednesday. So, once we get up to 180, I'll go ahead and we'll look at the notes real quick for Beyond ATC. Yeah, it is awesome, Irishman. It is. I appreciate it. Again, you've done so much for the channel. So much for the channel. Anything I get out of this channel goes right back into it. So, for example, the 350 was bought through this channel. For sure. What's the latest update? Must have missed something. We'll go over it here in just a second. Once we get up to our 180, we'll go over it. Because it's a pretty big deal. Like, I wasn't really planning on streaming this morning. I'll be honest, I wasn't. But I got up
Contact Boston
hour and a half
Centre
ago,
128.75.
and as I normally do, get on the phone real quick, check out some
11:59.
updates, and then I saw that Beyond ATC posted something, so I was like, oh, let's go see what's going on.
Boston Centre, JetBlue
And then,
11:59.
as Will said
Good
earlier,
day.
it said minor.
Leaving
I was like, okay, it can't be
15,600
much.
feet for flight level 180.
So then I went ahead and looked at it, and it went on forever. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm streaming.
JetBlue 1159, Boston Center. Good
All right,
day.
360.
Maintain flight level 360.
Good deal.
Climb, maintain flight level 360, JetBlue 11:59.
Do you remove the stars so you can see the vectors? I do, eventually. I wait a bit, though,
JetBlue 47.
because I want to see what Beyond ATC does. And sometimes it changes the vectors. I mean, it changes the approaches and runways. So I kind of keep things in there until I need to actually change it, or actually get an approach and runway. Now you can ask. That's the cool thing now with the LLM is you can ask that information. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Depending on who you're talking to, we can go to standard now. Depending on who you're talking to, center, approach, whatever, it actually may be different. So example, I did a flight a few days back, and I asked center, you know, what the expected runway was and the approach, and they gave me one. And then when I got into the center that was actually closer to the airport, it was changed. So it could have changed due to weather at that point, or both centers are like, you know, let's just give them something. We'll give them something to shut up. I might have a line on 5090. No way, Irishman. Really? What do you have right now? You had the 3090, I think you said, right? Oh, Gainesville, Virginia. Ooh, Virginia's beautiful. My wife and I, that was one of the places that we were considering moving to when we moved to Illinois almost 4.5 years ago now. Virginia actually was one of the places. SA, can you please explain what is difference in autopilot and auto throttle and how to use them? So, when you depart, the Airbus here is a super high-tech plane. It does a lot of it. 3090, yeah. It does a lot of it on its own. And the difference between the Airbus and the, you know, like, let's say the Boeing 737, is that with the Airbus, as soon as you go to flex is where it automatically knows the speeds it needs to go. It rotates the engine at the best you know, performance. So when you bring these throttles up to flex here, it automatically will engage auto throttle, which means from here on out, the plane will manage the speed based on what's inserted here in the computer. Okay? If you disarm that, that means you now have to control the speed on your own, but the autopilot will control everything else for you. You can manually adjust the speed on your own if you wanted to by pulling this knob down, which means you have control of this. And this is something that I think it was Fry that taught me the other day, which is beautiful. Push in, the plane has it. Pull out means you have it. Okay, I love it. It's beautiful. So hopefully that helped a little bit. So yeah, AP will control everything. Auto throttle just controls the throttles based on what the flight plan here has set up. Now, of course, you can adjust all kinds of things with the flight plan. So right now it says 284 is our speed. And if we look over here, 284 for our speed. Now, if we pull this out and put in our own speed, let's say they said increase your speed to 290. Then we can pull this out, increase to 290, or we can insert it into the computer and have it do it automatically. Definitely be a step up, yeah, for sure. Man, 5090, yeah, you know, it's cool. It is really cool. And the thing that irritates me, though, is there's a couple issues. So hopefully, knock on wood, Irishman, you don't have any issues. But I don't know if you're aware, there are issues with some of the boards not having the full, can't think of the word, that's missing performance, like 4 to 8%. I think it's 4 to 8%, 4 to 8% overall performance. And then, of course, there's the connector issue that's been going around since the 40 series. I know the 30 series had some of the melted connector issues as well, but more prominent for sure in the 40 series.
JetBlue 1159 Boston Center.
June hurricane season is going to start. Yeah, I just read an article this past weekend, and it was about how Illinois is now pretty much a part of Tornado Alley, which is incredible for me to think that. There was a day last year where there were over 25 tornadoes in the state of Illinois. One day had over 25 tornadoes in the state. That is crazy. Most of them did not touch the ground, but there were spinach going on. Spinach, like not spinach you eat, but you know, spinning. Okay. Let's look at the notes real quick here so I don't forget. I would be happy with the 5080. The only difference is the RAM. Want to decide from 4,000, descend from 400 to 150 altitudes, and how do we do that? So to do that, you go over here. So you would put this guy to whatever altitude you want. I can't do it now because I'm climbing, right? Yeah, I'm climbing right now. But you would change this down to whatever you want. So I want, let's say, flight level 150. You would put this into the computer. Then you can do, you can click on this little button, have it manage it, where it would manage just speed. It would take into account the speed and descend based on maintaining that speed. So if it can descend at 250 knots at a vertical descent of 1,000, then it will do that. If it can do it at less, then it will do less, more, etc. You can manage the VS yourself by pulling this out and adjusting how fast the descent is. Keep in mind, though, if you do that, speed will go up because it's not managing the speed now, you're managing the descent. So that's where this FPA comes in handy. This will manage the speed and the rate of the descent, so that you're never going to overspeed, and you're never going to be descending too shallow where you may stall out of the sky. I normally go VS, and I think a lot of pilots do VS from my understanding. I may be incorrect on that, but that's what I last heard. Lex, the names for the upcoming hurricane seasons will be Andre, Barry, Chanel, Derek, Aaron, Gabriel. They got all these names already. It's crazy. That's incredible. They have all these names already. Okay, so beyond ATC notes. Let's take a look at those.
Spirit 1171.
So
Boston Center,
here is the
contact.
minor update. Okay, so first thing first is the radio. So now here's beyond ATC. If you click on this little gear, you can now enable cockpit radios. Okay, and what that does
Boston Center, November 4538 Echo.
is now you can adjust the audio in the plane itself. So if you don't want to do it virtually or however you're currently doing it, you could do it all through the plane here, which is kind of cool. I don't do that though, but I understand why there's some who would, because they have little instruments already. Virtual cockpit that has those instruments.
1297, Boston Center, copy.
Next we have vectors. Completely rewrote vector handling engine from the ground up. So we're going to take a look at that further down the road. This is not minor, this is big. Traffic. Added flight plans to traffic so they fly waypoints more reflective of real life. So currently traffic flies direct from the end of the SID to the start of the star. In this release, 2/3 of traffic flights have a flight plan now. So instead of just going from the star to the SID, they now will go the full flight plan. Hey SA, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you for the what is it, the super? I'm not even sure what the things are. I appreciate that.
5590 Boston Center.
Hopefully that helps you. Traffic improved en route flight comparison to player position to increase the amount of en route traffic and that you should experience, especially for the long ones. So, there's been times where we've done streams here where we're flying, for example, where we are now, Boston, Philly. This is a busy airspace, but you don't hear anything on center. Well, that's been fixed. If you're using AIG, which who is it that uses AIG here?
American 1953.
Fry? Do you use AIG?
Radar contact.
I don't remember who. I think it's Fry. Someone uses AIG. They did some work with that. Traffic. Altered ground traffic selection logic to ensure that at busy airports with a high ground traffic settings, parked traffic is not all at destination. This has been seen at EDDF, for example. Improved approach selection at more remote airports, particularly those with RNAV only approaches and cloud break approaches. So this is kind of cool. So this might be, well, it's remote airports. I was going to say DCA, but using the visual DCA with the RNAV, maybe. Approach, fix a bug where you would be, here's what I was talking about earlier. You'd be asked to descend to a low altitude early in vectoring before being told. Airport ops did some changes with that. Procedures: if your flight plan does not contain a star, you will no longer be vectored from where you call descent, only be given altitude instructions. This should be preventing, what is it now? This should prevent users from being vectored out from 400 miles away from destination. Who was having that issue? Someone was telling me they were having that issue too, where they were being vectored away from the airport. The latest ARAC. I don't know what this means. If you have either voice quality settings set to off, no noise will be generated on the call-in. I don't know what that means. Fix issues with requesting altitude change that would result in the LLM not understanding. Yeah, I know Kip has had this issue before. And then finally found and fixed a bug that would cause the system not to hand off to tower. So this is funny because one of the first comments I had made in the Discord for Beyond ATC was this issue, and Captain himself reached out to me in the Discord and said, hey, give me information. So I did, and because it's an issue he's been having for a long time, clearly, obviously he said that. And I redid the flight, he redid the flight, he looked at the log and couldn't find anything in there, and so eventually he recently just found a way to fix it, so that's cool. That's rarely ever happens to me, but that was That was a long time ago that's happened. Alright, here's the vector information. More on the vectors. Our old vector engine was a hit and miss when it came to vector instructions. 70% of the time when it worked very well, and 30% of times it failed badly. This was due to its tuning to attempt to make vector system sit in middle ground where it wouldn't under-instruct or over-instruct. The problem arose when the situation called for aggressive instructions. The system wasn't able to dynamically adapt. So if you follow this path perfectly, no wind, correct timing, it would be perfect. However, if you get blown off course, it would screw things up. Yeah, I've seen that happen before. With this patch, the vector engine is completely new, rewritten from the ground up, dynamically adjust to handling the situation. Since this is a new system, it may fail. This means in some instances the new system may appear worse than the old one. So obviously if you're using the experimental version... Oh, there's my premium characters. That's what that noise is. If you're using the experimental version and you have any issues with it, I do recommend jumping into the Discord here and popping in any of the issues you may have. And there's all kinds of stuff here. You can do vectors or descent issues. So if you do have issues with Beyondatc, pop them into the Discord. Let them know that there are issues so they can get those rectified. But again, I think this is just impressive. Very impressive to see the vector stuff. I've got all 3 sets. I usually go with VS if I'm giving a descent 2 instruction. Yeah, that's what I do, Maple, as well. And manage descent if I'm asked to descend via. Yep, that's exactly what I do. Exactly what I do. Alright, since we have a decent amount of people in right now,
Boston Center, JetBlue 80.
You know what that means?
13,000 for 6,000 feet.
Do you know what that means? I know what that means.
JetBlue 809er.
Let me see if I can figure out what that means.
Climb and maintain flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320, JetBlue 809er.
I'm trying to figure out. Give me a second. Oops, that's not wrong either. Go back. Ah, here we go. All right. All right. If you have, or sorry, if you do not have, if you do not have Beyond ATC, now is your chance to own. This would be the basic copy of Beyond ATC. So if you don't have it, exclamation point raffle, and you'll have your chance at winning a free copy of Beyond ATC.
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Brickyard 5834.
All right, so we still haven't got it. We can ask. We'll ask.
Good day. Climb and maintain flight level
We'll ask Boston Center here. What is our expected
Climb and maintain flight level 300,
star?
Delta 644.
Boston Center, good morning from JetBlue 1159. We're just wondering, what's our expected star and runway into Philadelphia this morning? It's thinking real hard.
JetBlue 1159. Boston Center.
Jim's 5.
Your expected star is Jim's 4.
Irishman, another 5. Thank you for that again.
Philadelphia International.
Runway 9 is what we're expecting, so it's changing our approach. Or, sorry, it's changing our runway to runway 9. Runway 9. Well, there's runway 9 left and runway 9 right. Okay.
I can't believe
JetBlue 1159. Contact Boston Center 24525.
Irishman, thank you again. Thank you all for the support today. Thank you all for the support. Exclamation point raffle. If you don't currently own Beyond ATC, now's your chance to win it. I think I have it set for 30 minutes, which should be the rest of the flight here.
Descend, maintain 15,000. Altimeter 3027, Delta 2069.
Boston Center, JetBlue 1159.
Okay,
flight
so
level
we don't know
360.
exactly what runway we'll be getting. We're being told 9.
JetBlue 1159 Boston Center.
We don't know if it's
Roger.
9 left, 9 right. I have set in 27 right. So this ought to be interesting. So let's go to next, and we're going to go ahead and put in our weather information. At this point, we'll wait for the minimums until we get closer to knowing for sure which runway. So altimeter 3032. Temperature currently is 0. Winds are 310, or sorry, 300 at 10.
Level 298.
And we're gonna wait for the minimums.
American
Welcome in, Captain.
1953 Boston Center.
Welcome on in. Alright, we got a company message as well. Yes, I do have a Discord. Not a, like... Well, I do kind of have... Well, you know what? The heck with it. I don't use it currently. I have a Discord. But I don't really use it. Let's see. How do I... How does one get your Discord? Category, channel, server settings, invite people. I don't want to invite people, I just want to get a link. Oh, here we go. Alright, so if you're interested... Oh, that's not it. Again, I don't really use this. There's no one in here other than me. But maybe it could be beneficial. Whoops.
Contact Boston Center 132.3, JetBlue 1159. Have a good day. Boston Center, JetBlue 1159, flight level 360.
JetBlue 1159, Boston Center.
Why does it say... Oh. Sorry, give me a second. Apologize. Alright. There's Discord. There is Discord for those who want to join the official Exterior Discord. Oh, see, I'm getting that stutter issue now, and it, like, again, it happened so randomly. I don't know if you can see it on the stream or not, but
Contact New York Center 121.125. Take care.
I need to do some testing. I don't know if it is this monitor or not. And there, it's all cleared up, and it's gone. I don't understand why it does that. And again, it's only been doing that since I got this monitor. I feel. Again, there was that beta that happened not too long ago, around the same time. What did we get? Oh yeah, we gotta check our messages. So, received, JetBlue, there's our message, cleared, okay. And we're still set up for 9. And we're just gonna kind of wait to see what happens with Beyond ATC, because today is that big update, so we want to make sure that we're kind of letting it do its thing the best that we can without kind of interfering with it. Alright. New York, JFK is right on the right of us. Right here. I'm pretty sure that is Kennedy. And then New York right here, downtown New York. Pretty sure.
JetBlue 1159, contact New York.
Okay, I think we'll be getting our instructions momentarily.
Center on 121.125, JetBlue 1159.
For our
Have a
descent.
good one.
I think that's going to happen pretty quick here.
New York Center, JetBlue 1159, good day. Flight level 360.
What is this air? What is this air? Nav accuracy upgrade. That is...
1159 New York Center, roger.
So, once you switch these over to nav, it now gets GPS information, depending on how fast you have it set up. I have mine set for instant in the Phoenix. So once you do that, it now has a GPS navigation. So clearing that out just tells you, or that showing up shows you that it's been upgraded to, you know, the latest position where you are. So think about it like if you turn, let's say you turn GPS off on your phone. Okay, well it currently has the last known location you have been. Once you turn it on, it gets the information from the satellites and knows exactly where you are again. So the navigation has been upgraded. Or if you're going, let's say, a bit like a downtown area, and you know, it's really busy and all that jazz. Not busy, sorry. Big buildings and whatever, and it's interfering with the satellites. Well, once you get to a location where the signal is better, it will then upgrade your location. So think of it that way. What was that beep? There was a ding. I don't know what that was. I thought it was beyond ATC, but no. I thought it was because I was out of credits. Alright, so, come on, let's see. What are we going to get from runway? The top of the descent's coming on up. If we're landing runway 9, it would be coming around this way. And we're expecting the gyms as well still. So this will be interesting to see how this all plays out. TCAS standby. Ah, see, they lied to us. Expect gyms for runway 27 right, JetBlue 1159.
New York Center, southwest.
Okay, so we have the same runway still. We can ask for top of descent momentarily. Let's go on down here. Let's clear out our disco.
Southwest 2370 New York Center.
So let's go that, go away, that, go away.
Contact New York Center 118.975.
And we're going to be swinging in this way. Okay, cool.
Contact New York Center, 118.975.
We'll get our top of descent here momentarily.
1159.
Give me a second for that TCAS. For some reason, the stream looks a little washed out of my end. The clouds look like a band of white. Maybe it's my stream. It's probably not. So I'm using HDR. And I'm still kind of testing to see how things are. I thought I had it set so that it was
New York Center,
ignoring the
JetBlue 1159.
HDR
Good
in
day.
the stream.
Flight level 360.
So I guess I have to do some more testing on that, sorry.
JetBlue 1159, New York Center. Good day.
Alright, let's give it a couple more seconds. So the standby, TCAS standby, that is down here. So if you have it set for standby, this is where it knows. This is where ATC will know where you are. You're squawking this code so ATC can tell you are. If you have it here on standby, it doesn't know where you are. So here, when you have it on TARA, T-A-R-A, it means that it knows where you are. Standby means you have it in the system, but they don't know where you are. Okay, New York Center, JetBlue 1159, ready for descent.
JetBlue 1159 after Briggs cleared via Jims 4. Pilot's discretion descend and maintain flight level 260. Philadelphia landing runway 27 right, altimeter 3032.
It said after Jims, or Briggs, but that's fine. We'll make it work.
Right. After Briggs, cleared via Jims 4. Pilot's discretion descend and maintain
That's
flight
not
level
a
260.
lot of room to make our
Philadelphia
descent.
landing runway
From here to here.
Altimeter 3032. JetBlue 1159.
So we're calling for it early.
JetBlue 1159. Contact New York
Yeah, it's
Center
interesting because I thought I had
128.3.
a setting.
Center on 128.3.
Set to ignore
JetBlue
HDR.
1159. New York Center, JetBlue 1159. Descending via Jims 4. Flight level 337.
Now that probably looks not so. No, I don't know if that's better or worse. Let me know if that's what that looks like.
1159 New York Center.
Manning, if that's better or worse. I was forcing SDR, but now I feel like the colors are just too washed, like it's not popping. I may have to just fly in SDR when I stream. That's my guess.
New York Center, JetBlue
A little better?
1533,
Okay.
Flight level 300.
JetBlue 1533 New York
Yeah, I guess I'll
Center.
just fly. I'll fly standard. I'm still learning things. Alright, making our descent. We'll make our turn in here with Jim. So actually I can bring up the charts in this plane so you guys can see that. Go to Navigraph.
New York Center, United 1556.
Still hazy.
Flight level 350.
Going to Philly here and start. What I like about the charts here, and this is what I hope the A350 has it, is that it automatically will pin the charts you need. Very, very helpful. So here we are on the Jim's arrival. Here's Briggs. We're going to be coming in this way here, following Briggs, coming on out here, and then bam, runway 27 right. 27 right is here. We want to be at 3,000 at Martin. And then landing it into Philly. 27 right here. Exit to the right. And I have no idea where JetBlue parks. So pretty straightforward. Maybe it's hazy out. The distance out here for sure is hazy. Oh, there's a plane right here. I think that's a plane. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I think that's a plane. It's a little hazy out in the different distance for sure. It's improved. Okay, cool.
3437.
Cool.
Contact Washington
I'll mess with
Center
that a little bit.
124.7.
I really like to keep my HDR
Contact
on.
Washington Center 124.775.
I suppose I can throw a filter on
Flight
top of it
3437.
to pop the colors. Oh, that one I'm messing on stream. Might break something. Knowing my luck, might break something. Okay, let's check out another thing. For those who, it seems like everyone has Beyond ATC in the stream today, so that's cool. That's awesome. Let's look at this guy. If you don't have this is free. This is on their website, Beyond ATC Traffic Map. There's 93 planes within our little area here. So the purple planes are planes you'll hear on the comms. The blue planes you'll see visually, and looks like that is a plane out there in the distance. There's also one like right below us. Ahead of us, below us.
Descend and maintain 13,000.
13,000.
Altimeter 3032.
So there's one like
Descend
right
and maintain
here somewhere.
13,000,
Oh, it's right here on
altimeter
the
3032,
system.
JetBlue
Let's see if we can see it.
1159.
It's so hard to see during the day.
United 1321.
Okay, 13.
Washington Center 2545. Have a good day.
Center on 2545, United 1321. Have a good day.
Descent fuel on board. It means you don't have enough fuel. The system doesn't think you have enough fuel to make your destination. So it's taking your current flight plan, right? And if there's any vectors and all that jazz, let's say you're in a hold, and you've been going in that hold a bunch. Well, I guess it wouldn't do it that. It would do it much earlier in your flight. It would do it for your initial departure. So let's say this. This would make more sense. Let's say sim brief. You file the flight plan with sim brief for a certain SID, certain departure. But then you get on to Beyond ATC and they're like, do this instead. Well, you already set on board that you had X number of fuel. So let's say you have to now travel a much farther distance. Now the system says, hey, just so you know, it doesn't look like you have enough fuel to make it there. It's kind of giving you that warning.
JetBlue 1159 Washington Center.
So that's what it means. It means that the system doesn't think you have enough fuel. Now, keep this in mind. It may or may not be incorrect. And I say that because, for example, right now we are going pretty much towards the wind, right? So our engines are working, our plane's working a little bit harder to maintain the speed. Means we're burning a little bit more fuel. Okay? Now, if you have a tailwind, that means the wind's helping you get there faster. So it means the plane's using less energy to get there. Okay? So the fuel on board may not be correct because of that wind direction. Now, obviously, if the wind's calm, it doesn't have any impact whatsoever. If the wind is, if you're having a headwind, well, it may be even less fuel on board. I said that completely wrong. English, Joe. But if you have like a tailwind, obviously, you may have even more fuel. You'll get there faster and you'll have saved some fuel.
Philadelphia approach, JetBlue 1159, flight level 225 with the numbers.
All right, let's bring in that a little bit.
JetBlue 1159 Philadelphia approach. Good day, altimeter tree 0, tree 2. Expect the visual approach. Runway 27 right.
All right, 27 right is our visual approach. Cool.
Altimeter 30.
So I'm gonna guess after whatever this is here.
JetBlue 1159.
M chord. I'm guessing after that is where we'll get our vectors. It will say turn heading, blah blah blah, intercept the localizer, descend and maintain, blah blah blah. That's my guess. Align IRSs. That means this guy. That means you have to align these to nav. So I'm not going to turn them now because it breaks something. But if they're by default, they're off. Okay, so it means it has no GPS connected to it. When you turn it over to nav, it means it's getting the GPS signal. So that's what that error means. I think I know a little bit more about Airbuses than I thought I did. I was just having this little conversation with my father-in-law, and so my wife had told him that this is what a goofball I am. So I had this last week. I initially had Tuesday as my day off from work, and then the rumor had it that the 350 would be launching on Wednesday. So I had asked work if I could swap my Tuesday and Wednesday around, so I have Wednesday off. They were like, no problem, cool. And so my wife had told my father-in-law that new plane came out. I even swapped my days off from work to fly that plane. But I was also telling him how I've always been a Boeing guy. I love my Boeings. I loved for me, the 727 was, one of the first planes I ever flew on as a young child. And I love the 737. That's what I pretty much only flew in the early days of flight simming. And that's what kind of slightly disappoints me with the 727 we have now from Flight Sim Studios. Is it's a fun plane, but it's not perfect, and I have some issues with it, and so that's what kind of stops me from flying, especially since there's even more issues here in 2024 with it. But like the 350 is such a really, really cool plane. It is really, really cool. I just hope that they get the optimization fixed up a bit and get some of those bugs continue to be hammered out. The first hot patch was a pretty big deal. I'm also a bit disappointed with that first hot patch because how long did these streamers and other content creators and beta testers have access to the build and did not experience any of these issues? Because like I had those issues, most of the issues that they fixed for that first patch I had in my first flight, you know. So that was, I understand, like you go from a pool of whatever 20 people to a pool of 1,000 whatever. Obviously you can get more feedback, but not all 1,000 of them are reporting it to Discord. There's only a handful that are reporting that to Discord, maybe what, 200-300. So that does mean that to me at least, it does mean that they pushed out the plane knowing that there were issues and that they would eventually get the hot fix out there. And I don't like that. I don't like businesses doing that. I'd rather you delay it by a day or two, get a better product out, and let us enjoy it day one. Now thankfully, I was able to get some really cool flights in. That was the longest stream we did last Wednesday, almost 6 hours. And I had a lot of fun, did a lot of flights with it. I did some flights after the stream, got some video out. I flew that pretty much non-stop until, yesterday I think, is when I finally jumped back into the 319, 320. And then I did a 737 flight yesterday. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's just there are some issues. There are definitely some issues. Okay, so here it's kind of quiet now. We got a couple planes around us. We got 1, 2. We got those planes there. I closed out the traffic map, didn't I?
JetBlue 1159, descend and maintain 6,000.
Get that back up.
Descend and maintain 6,000.
6,000.
1159.
Watching our altitude, so we got to turn on the lights here momentarily. Sounds like you're slacking. Yeah, so there's a bunch of planes in the area. Yeah, there's a few planes here.
Brickyard 3437, descend and maintain.
Now as I start talking here, they come on the comms.
Descend and maintain 2,500 feet. Brickyard 3437.
Alright, drag's looking good. I'm not going to worry about bringing out speed brakes. Airport is somewhere over here. No, hold on. Somewhere over here. It might be right here. We're going to fly out this way and then come on in. I had a very interesting vector last night. It flew into... shoot. I think it was... No, it wasn't Buffalo. Oh, I can't remember where it was. It was my last flight with a pilot's life. Anyways, wherever it was. The vector, it was kind of like the fix that they say they done with this whole vectors change. Was, for example, the approach chart, the star had me come in over here, but I was landing here. Okay, so then what happened was, so it vectored me in. It told me to follow the approach. So I followed the approach, and the approach brought me here, and then it vectored me out and around, and brought me back out, and then in for the landing. It never lost me in any of it, and it followed the charts to a T. But it had me go all the way out to the star, and then vectored me back around instead of me having to go direct. Now I could have requested direct if I wanted to, but what I like to do at Beyondatc, like you want to do in real life, is let ATC direct you, especially when it comes to airline stuff. And so I like to do that as much as possible, especially to kind of see what happens. It was very interesting. Captain, yep, I got your message. I'll respond here once the stream's over with. I will respond once the stream's over with. Phoenix has a manual installed in the EFB that helped me learn a lot. Oh, in the EFB? Really? Pilot brief? Documentations. Oh, here we go. Phoenix Guide. Oh, that's really cool. God, I wish I knew that. Way back when I was learning this plane. Okay, so where'd we go? We were just on here. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we are. We're going out this way, and then we're going to swing back in for the arrival. Landing lights are on. And we're going down to 6,000. Alright, we're going to go ahead and close out the Beyond ATC. No one voted because it looks like everyone must have Beyond ATC, so that's awesome. That's what I want to see for these streams. Alright, so far the update is fantastic. I'll have to do some...
Descend, maintain 5,500.
I'll have to do some small remote airports. I'll do a flight tonight and test like a smaller airport. I'll do my typical like Minneapolis Fargo flight, because the Fargo could be very interesting. $7,000. That's looking good. Again, Philly is pretty rough on the frames, so keep that in mind as we make our approach into Philly. We're going to be landing 27 right, which means it's pretty much immediately off of the runway, and then we'll be at a gate. So I probably won't get taxi clearance, just because it's not really necessary. Well, yeah, obviously it's necessary, but you know, I'll just pick a gate. I'll see if I can spot any JetBlues.
JetBlue 1159, turn left, heading tree 05, intercept the 27 right localizer, descend and maintain 2,500, vectors for the approach.
Alright, so we're going to left 3005.
3005, intercept the 27 right localizer, descend and maintain 2,500, JetBlue 1159.
And we're dropping down to 2,500. Localizer is armed. LS is on, 16 miles out. 1001 tutorials on YouTube as well. Alright, and approach is armed. Good. I'll be honest, I learned this plane mostly from 757 Spy. I watched a lot of his stream. I watch a lot of his streams. And I watch his YouTube videos. Let's see if this dang chatbot is gonna work. Probably not. I don't understand why that doesn't work sometimes.
Contact Philadelphia Tower 118.5.
Over to Tower 118.5, Brickyard 34.
Here he is on YouTube. 757 Spy. He's fantastic. Lots of knowledge.
Spirit 1182. Good day.
Yeah, the only vector here is the heading. Yeah, so this is not the greatest test to do with the big update, but nevertheless, it's done a good job, right?
Philadelphia approach. Altimeter tree 0, tree 2. Expect the
Alright, localizer should be captured momentarily. We're just above
Altimeter 303 to expect the visual approach runway 27 left. Spirit 11.
Our glide slope right now.
JetBlue 1159, airport is at your 11 o'clock, 16 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight right there. We have the field in sight, JetBlue 516. Or sorry, JetBlue 1159.
JetBlue 1159, cleared visual approach runway 27 right.
Alright, we're clear for the visual.
Cleared visual approach 27 right, JetBlue 1159.
Alright, glide slope's captured, localizer captured, glide slope should be momentarily. Let's go over here real quick. Let's go to, we'll look at the chart so we can see we're coming on in. And then again for the runway 27 right here. We'll probably exit, we might be able to make Mike November, but we'll try Kilo 4. And then find out where JetBlue parks. Okay, glide slope's been captured. Let's bring on their flaps. Surely you can't be serious. Of course I'm serious. Don't call me Shirley. Yep, still on the right runway. 27 right. Alright, flaps coming down. Gear coming down. Oh, I forgot to do my ET. Oh, what a terrible pilot. Terrible pilot. We're termed. We are termed. Never to fly again. Downtown Philly on to the right of us there. I'd like to go to Philly one day. That'd be kind of cool.
Philadelphia Tower, JetBlue 1159, visual runway 27 right.
Oh, I don't have minimums in. Son of a gun.
JetBlue 1159, Philadelphia Tower, wind 310 at 10, runway 27 right, cleared to land.
211.
Runway 27 right, cleared to land.
Alright, minimums are in last minute. No, the Niner it gave me was center. Center gave me runway 9. Alright, full flap set, checked. Yeah, but so center was telling me the Jims 4 via, runway 9 via Jims 4. I'm glad I didn't reprogram it. Like because I was saying that earlier, like sometimes it seems like the centers don't talk to each other, or maybe because of weather change, wind change. But 27 is what what SimBrief told me early on. Alright folks, we're gonna go AP off. All hell's about to break loose. Alright, let's see if we can do a live on stream how to get a smooth landing. We have a little bit of crosswind here coming out of the right. 9 knots right now, so nothing too much. So, right now, what I'm focusing on, I'll walk you through what my brain's thinking. Right now, I know it's visual, but I'm focused right now on this dot, and I'm focused on this line. So we're a little low, so we're going to bring that nose up just a little bit, and we're going to try to get back on path here. So we're slightly off. Now we're capturing it better. And bringing that nose just a little bit more. With the Airbus, don't do too much because it is fly-by-wire, so wherever you put it, it will stick.
1,000.
So right now, I'm going off instruments on this approach. Alright, so now we're going to bring that nose down just a little bit more. And I'm just kind of following that flight director the best I can. So now we're back on stable approach. Bring the nose back up. And the reason why it goes up and down is because the engine's slowly kind of putting more power into it. What causes the plane to drop a little bit more. You can see they got the 3 pappies, 3 red lights. So it means we're a little bit low on the approach. Okay, now we're right back on the pappies. We're going to bring that nose down, follow that flight director. I'm also keeping my eyes looking outside, so I'm not just focused on those instruments. My eyes are up and down. And about this spot, now I'm going to go ahead and just go visual. So now what I'm looking at is the touchdown zone. It's looking right there.
100 above. Minimum.
Okay, so I'm just aiming for that touchdown zone.
50, 40,
Okay, bring that nose up slowly.
20, retard.
Letting it stabilize, bringing back the throttle. And touchdown. Let that nose go down. Reverser's coming out. I brought the engines out a little too late. Or sorry, a little too early, so we kind of dropped out of the sky a bit there. Alright, 80 knots. Reversers are stowed. We're going to exit here, which I think might be what we're looking for. Was it Kilo 4?
1159, exit right next available taxiway.
Exit right next available taxiway, JetBlue 1159.
And welcome to Philly. Landing lights are off, and flaps are coming up. Spoilers being disarmed. And we're going to pause here for a moment. But,
JetBlue 1159, contact
we'll see.
ground 121.9er, take
I wasn't
care.
too confident in that. I think that was a pretty high one.
Ground 121.9er, JetBlue 1159.
I wouldn't be surprised that was like 350. Philadelphia ground, good morning from JetBlue 1159. We're looking to taxi to gate Echo 13.
JetBlue 1159, welcome to Philadelphia, gate Echo 13 taxi via Kilo 4 November Papa. Hold short, runway 27 right.
What?
Gate Echo 13 via Kilo 4 November Papa. Hold short runway 27 right, JetBlue 1159.
I think there's an airport scenery issue with this, with Beyondatc here.
Tower 135.1.
So, Kilo 4,
Over to Tower
November.
135.1. American
Yeah, see, there's
1120.
something,
American 2303,
there's something going on
runway
here.
27 right at Alpha 2.
Because at this airport I
Continue
always seem to
taxi
get
via
some
Papa
weird
Sierra 1.
vector, wants me like to go around here, come back out this way. There's something going on here with this scenery.
Sierra 1, American 2303.
Because here's Papa. So I don't know if it thinks that we're... No, because Kilo 4 is here.
Frontier flight
I don't know. I don't
2551.
understand that. Anyways, they
Taxi
gave us Echo
departure.
9. We're just gonna... Or Echo 13, so we'll just go over
Frontier
there.
flight 2551,
which is way over
runway
here.
27 left taxi via Delta
Which
Juliet Papa
is
Sierra 1, hold short
13.
runway 27 right.
Which is right here. So that's where we're gonna go to. So we're gonna go Kilo 4, Quebec,
Runway 27 left
and
taxi
Juliet.
via Delta, Juliet, Papa, Sierra 1. Hold short runway 27 right. Frontier flight 2551.
Actually, we're gonna... Well, shoot.
Piedmont 5824, continue
Alright, yeah, this is,
taxi.
we're gonna do that. 245, you think, huh?
Taxi.
No
Piedmont
PTV.
5824.
Nope.
American 2303, contact Philadelphia Tower 135.1.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and swing over to the right here
American 2303.
on Juliet.
Frontier flight 3477, cross runway 27 right at Alpha 2. Continue taxi via Papa, Sierra 1.
And now, if there's any issues with traffic, it's because
Cross runway 27 right at Alpha 2.
this is not where I'm supposed to go.
Via Papa, Sierra 1, Frontier flight 3477.
So we may see some traffic issues with Beyondatc here.
American
But I think we might be
2347,
alright.
taxi.
Although we got this Frontier here, that's gonna be a problem. They're holding for them. I'm assuming the Frontier is gonna go that way, so I'm gonna hold for
2347,
them.
Runway 27 left taxi via Victor Juliet Papa, Sierra 1. Hold short runway 27 right.
Runway 27 left taxi via Victor, Juliet, Papa, Sierra 1. Hold short runway 27 right, American 2347.
So that Frontier should be following this E-Jet.
Frontier flight 3477, contact Philadelphia Tower
Yep.
135.1. Have a good one.
Cool. Alright, that cleared our space for the most part.
135.1, Frontier flight 3477.
Piedmont's a long time since... Yeah, I love Piedmont.
Piedmont 5824, cross runway 27 right at Alpha 2. Continue taxi via Papa, Sierra 1.
Traffic is so freaking cool, man. I'm telling you, this is like,
27 right at Alpha 2.
this is the coolest experience ever.
Taxi via Papa, Sierra 1, Piedmont 5824.
Now, I think this is where Beyondatc probably would have had us go from the get-go. If the issue wasn't with the scenery. That's one of the flaws with Beyondatc is that it does use the scenery information versus what another program uses, which is the community updates it. So you're kind of limited in that regard. So if you've ever flown into or out of Atlanta, it doesn't know where the taxiways are there. So you'll get pilot discretion, taxi to runway blah 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 via pilot's discretion. And in some cases like this one here, you'll get some weird loop-de-loop thing. Alright, 1-3 is right there. This is where all the cheap planes park apparently. Well, there's American there, I guess not.
Pushback approved. Face east. American.
Come on, bus, make a turn. Oh yeah, it's an amazing program. Yes, I use FSLTL. Yep. I was using FS Traffic, but FS Traffic doesn't have cargo. So I like to see UPS and FedEx, DHL out there as well.
All aircraft be advised information hotel now current.
It is cool seeing GA though. It's really cool seeing GA. Alright, taxi lights are off, parking brake is set. Let's go back over here. We're going to go to Phoenix, and we're going to go to GPU on, chocks on, connect the jetway. We're hitting the bell. We're going to go up here. External power is on. Go on down here. Go to normal, which I should have had it on. And engines are off. Heard the click, and we should get pilots like to automatically, well, I thought it should. I don't know why it's not automatically submitting the flight plan. Cannot be submitted. You have not reached your post-flight stage.
American 646, Gate Bravo 13, request pushback.
I sure have. What happened?
American 646, Philadelphia ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face east.
Did it not count any of this flight?
Pushback and engine start approved. Face east. American 646.
Well, I'm confused.
American 1535. Request taxi to the active.
What happened here? It was tracking me.
American 2347, contact
Oh,
Philadelphia
no, it
Tower
wasn't. I forgot to
135.1,
start
have
up.
a good one.
Oh my gosh. My mistake. I'll do this flight again. I forgot to start up FCEP. What is it called? FSUIPC.
American 1535,
Ah, shoot.
runway 27
My
left,
mistake.
taxi via Victor Juliet Papa Sierra 1.
Well, okay, let's look at
Short
Volanta.
runway 27 right.
Let's see what that gave us. Review.
Runway 27 left, taxi
Helipad.
via Victor Juliet Papa
289.
01.
That's not too bad.
Hold short
That's a
runway
little heavy,
27 right.
but their G's are
American
pretty good, right?
1535.
1.03. Yeah, G's are really good. So it was a smooth landing.
American
was a smooth landing.
809er at gate
That
Alpha
sucks.
12.
Okay, we'll have to do this
Request
flight
pushback
again
and engine
to
start.
get credit with it in a pilot's life. Well, that was a delay. Oh, there goes that weird.
American 809er, Philadelphia ground, hold position for company traffic. I'll call you
Whoa,
back.
am I getting that DLS bug now?
Hold position. American 809er.
Whoa. I'm getting that weird issue that Kip has.
Runway 27 left, taxi
Let's
via November,
go
Kilo, Papa, Sierra 1.
There's
Short,
turn
runway
off frame
27 right.
gen.
Runway 27 left taxi via November, Kilo, Papa,
Okay,
Sierra
that
1.
seems to fix
Hold
that
short
issue. Let's go
runway
back
27
into it
right.
real quick.
American 1875.
Nope, still there. Yeah, getting that frame gen issue. It's been a while since I had that issue happen. Well, Yeah, so I don't because, yeah, human error. I normally don't have FS, UI, PC, and so okay. So I'm a Stream Deck. I have a button, and I have it launching both of them, APL and FS. But for this flight, I want to figure out what the flight was first. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just launch up APL first, and then I'll launch up FS. And I forgot to. I forgot to. Human error for sure. Well, thanks everyone for today's stream. A lot of fun. Thanks. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the memberships. More importantly, though, thanks for just coming in and hanging out with me for, what's it been, an hour and a half or so. Very much appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I love doing these streams. I love showcasing Beyondatc in all of its glory and amazement. This is really, really cool. And I don't know, I think the future is so bright for this program. The more and more they update it, the LLM capabilities, now with the vectors, the traffic, it just becomes even more immersive of a program. So I think it's going to be an incredible year for flight simming. Sim Update 1 officially, hopefully, will be coming out soon, so those who don't want to be on the beta, which I understand, will be able to enjoy it then. But we'll see you for the next stream. I don't know when that will be. Maybe Thursday or Friday, maybe this weekend. We'll see. But again, thanks for coming in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.